Hey yo, welcome to another edition of Hey Yo with D Shelton. I am the host of this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, Del Rico Shelton. As always, we are sponsored by Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cupcakes and cake pops in the DMV area. You can reach them at row_sweets_LLC on Facebook and Instagram, and Row is spelled RO. You can also contact them at rowsweetsllc@gmail.com. Once again, also, thank you for Riverside.fm for providing the platform so I can give you what you want. And please like, share, and subscribe to Hey Yo with D Shelton. I greatly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Today is a good day. Regardless of the situation, as you see if you are right now looking at this face, you see the Dallas Cowboy hat. If you are hearing the voice, yes, I'm wearing my Dallas Cowboy hat. One of them, I should say. Reason being, once again, today's a good day. For the first time in almost 2 months, my beloved Dallas Cowboys came out with a victory. Who might you think we beat? Hi, Commanders fans. Oh, my bad. Commanders. Put your left hand up. Now, more likely there's going to be a short podcast because, me covering my beloved Dallas Cowboys, and also because I live in Washington, D.C., I feel only appropriate to cover the Washington Commanders. But throughout the whole fucking year, as a Dallas Cowboy fan in the DMV area, and regardless of how Washington Commander fans always say, y'all started first, I'm going to be frank. I told you I was born in Richmond, Virginia, which technically you could say is, Washington, then Redskins. Apologize for using the slur. Do this with context with the name. But a great portion of the city, they did rock that silver and blue. I did know one Miami Dolphin fan and a couple Oakland Raider fans. And then they moved to LA. I'm speaking of the Raiders. So, but the majority of the city was Washington. But a great portion was the silver and blue. I openly said I came out my mama with the Roger Staubach jersey from. I also, when I moved to Maryland, Prince George's County to be exact, in 1987. And since 1987, no one knew I was a Dallas Cowboy fan until one day we at the lunchroom. You know what I'm saying? Eating, shooting the breeze now. I'm starting to be cool with the crew. And they said, "Who your football team?" I said, "Dallas." Oh, da 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 da. And they started going in. And from that point, every year, every day, I do not say shit. I just let the games play. In 1989 season, when my Dallas Cowboys was 1-15, and everybody and their mama was talking shit. Y'all suck. Da 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 da. Let me straighten my hat out. Let me straighten my hat. They said openly, "Y'all suck." Blah 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 blah. Try to fix the camera up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That would make sure it look a little pristine. There we go. Since I ain't do the normal intro. Every day, every football season, I should say, Washington fans come at me and any of my Cowboy people. You all start this shit first. I always say y'all are toxic because y'all started first. You don't tell the truth. Saying, "No, y'all started da 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 da." I don't say nothing, but y'all come at me. See, we have a group chat, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Chris Rome, founder of Unique Hoops Basketball Academy. I get a shout out to my boy Jay. I get a shout out to my boy Mo. But especially my boy Chris, because we're in the group chat and he always says when Dallas loses, his pastor wants to know what time, what was the score of the Cowboy game? He's been especially doing it a lot this particular season since I will openly admit my Dallas Cowboys suck. But something magically happened today, November 24th. As the time I'm recording this, it's a little bit after 4:30. The Dallas Cowboys once again defeated the Washington Commanders 34-26. And what to be, to my estimation and my analyst hat on, one of the goofiest, craziest games I have ever seen. This may be the worst special teams day I have ever seen. But regardless, Dallas won. I can probably say this is probably one of the most goofiest games I ever saw. But Dallas won. So, I want to say since 1997, the Washington Commanders, I want to say, has only won 15 or 16 times against the Dallas Cowboys. That's horrible. Now Dallas has won 6 out of the last 7. And let me break out some real history. Because I forgot to put this up. Yeah, I got it up. As of today, this is why I said this, truthfully speaking, it's not a rivalry. The Dallas Cowboys, since 1960, when the rivalry started, right? Matter of fact, let me make sure before I give the overall record. You know what I mean? Just make sure. The all-time series, the Dallas Cowboys lead this by a record of 78 wins against the Washington Commanders, losing 48 times to the Washington Commanders, and tied twice. Once again, the Dallas Cowboys have beaten the Washington Commanders by a total A total, one more time, a total record of 78 wins, 48 losses, and 2 ties. That means the Dallas Cowboys have a 30 game lead on Washington. Matter of fact, there has been not one decade since the Dallas Cowboys were established in 1960 that the Washington football franchise has a winning record against Dallas. That means 10 years total, they've never had a winning record at all during any decade against Dallas. But you Commanders fans would love to say it's a rivalry. And I have gotten on my Dallas Cowboys like crazy. And I'm going to get on them again today. I'm going to put my analysis hat on in a sec. But right now, yes, I'm going to gloat. You know why? Because you all can't handle prosperity. In the beginning, if you go back to the opening game with you all, I said Dan Quinn was the right man for the job, and he's going to get you right. I said Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. I said it with my chest all out for you. I said Dan Quinn is going to change that culture. Was I wrong? Because Dan Quinn is sorely missed with Dallas, as you can see. As a matter of fact, by seeing Dan Quinn on the opposite side, all of a sudden the Dallas Cowboy defense started playing, I don't know, like the Dallas Cowboy defense from last year. Go fucking figure. It also helped that a certain number 26, the defense, well, I should have been defensive player of the year last year. By the name of Deron Bland, cornerback, finally got on the damn field. It also helps that Michael Parsons, even though he had 11 pressures last week, and I believe a sack against C.J. Stroud, now has his legs back after missing 5 games with the high ankle sprain. He harassed Jaden Daniels. All of a sudden, the defense somehow sprung to life. Now, I heard on a certain Washington radio station today in the morning that because Trayvon Diggs was not playing today, that a certain wire that he was ducking smoke because now we got a quarterback that will not throw the ball in the dirt. Except for one play. Did you see Scary Terry at all? Did you? It was a hell of a play, though. It was a hell of a play. We're going to get into that. Right now, the group chat is very, very silent. I wonder why. I wonder does my boy Chris Pastor know the score of the game? Somebody need to text it to him. Hi, Chris. You my dog, though. I love you. But it's just, there's times where you could honestly say, regardless of the players, regardless of the situations, regardless of the records, two teams just don't like each other. Regardless of how players transfer over since Washington took, I want to say, not only our Dallas defense coordinator, made him the head coach, I want to say 3 players that were on, well, you know what? Yep. When I think about it, Dorrance Armstrong, your center Biotish, and Noah Brown all were Cowboys last season. Noah Brown actually played a good game today, too. So the Dan Quinn system, it works, just not today. So now that I've somewhat stopped gloating, because Dallas is going to finish with a losing record. And we got to turn around and play on Thanksgiving against New York Football Giants, who not only benched their starting quarterback Daniel Jones, they released him per his request. Thursday going to be interesting. Thanksgiving is going to be very, very interesting. And I will openly admit, I thought about cutting on both Washington's sports radio station and Dallas's sports radio station before I did this podcast. But I decided, nope. Let me get on the horn and talk about this joint. Matter of fact, let me sip on some water. Heritage spring water to be exact. Because, once again, this has got to be one of the most goofiest, strangest, nerve-wracking, dumb-ass games I've ever seen. Let me... This is the whole first quarter for Dallas. 2 drives, both of them fairly good. Because, once again, Commanders fans, I told you, your defense can be ran on. Dallas can't run the ball for shit. But for somehow, we could run the ball today. Matter of fact, 91 yards as a team. 28 total carries. But Rico Dowdell, who fumbled, it was a hell of a play, getting him stripped or whatever when he was going down. Had 19 carries for 86 yards, 4.5 a pop. Somehow, Rico Dowdell, when he gets touches, somehow averages 4 a pop. Mike McCarthy, you know you gonna lame duck coach. Can you give Rico the ball some? CeeDee Lamb, 10 catches, 67 yards. But still 10. And should have had 11. But I'm going to get into that dude in a sec. Because I don't think he's going to start ever again. But going back to the first quarter, the Dallas Cowboys did 2 great drives. Of course, get close to red zone, can't cash in, but, we got a dude that's pretty much automatic. Right? You know who he is. To me, he actually is the MVP of the whole fucking season. And that's Brandon Aubrey. But he had a field goal blocked. Damn. So, besides him, the special teams, for some reason, have been goofy for Dallas all year. No harm, no foul. Drives again. And this time, I think he slipped a little bit off that godforsaken turf of y'all's, Washington. And doink, he missed field goal number 2. At this point, I'm like, shit. Washington goes down and kicks a field goal. Oh, by the way, out the first blocked field goal, the Dallas defense held. I'm like, damn. Okay. And really for the first half, Jaden Daniels didn't throw at Deron Bland at all. I wonder why. Scary Terry only had one catch against Deron. I wonder why. Anywho, then, still in the first half, Dallas is punting. Dallas gets the punt blocked. But the defense holds again. I'm like, okay, it might be Dallas's day. And please, Mike McCarthy, can you stop doing that goddamn jet sweep with CeeDee Lamb? Everybody knows it's coming. Even though Shoemaker was too wide and Dorrance Armstrong made a hell of a play to pretty much get CD. But everybody knows it's coming. Stop doing this shit. I mean, damn. He got 1 yard off it. It's predictable now. First half ends 3-up. You know why? Because once again, I want to say it was St. Jude not paying attention. And for some reason, I don't know how, but Jalen Brooks, does an in and out and made a hell of a catch. Also, if I recall, it was pass interference too, but that's cool. Dallas ties the game 3-up. Then, second half starts. Aubrey, for some reason, kicks it out of bounds. Doesn't hit the landing zone. I'm sorry. Ball at the 40. Jaden Daniels throws a pick. You heard me right. He throws a pick to Chauncey Golston, who actually sniffed the screen out and pretty much goes off Eckler's hands. And next thing you know, he got the ball. Also, I knew Dallas defense also was playing different because on Brian Robinson Jr.'s first run, he got hurt. Not saying that's a good thing, but they got in the backfield. Again, Cliff Kingsbury's offense is starting to get figured out. This was the best coaching that Mike Zimmer did all game, except for one thing. And I can't blame Mike for that. I can't. God damn it, Jordan Lewis. The game was just funky. Dallas gets a fumble. Yes, Dallas got a fumble. We don't get takeaways. We just don't. Not this season. But for some reason, they saw Dan Quinn and they remember who the fuck they were. We stripping and going for the ball. Dallas gets up because I don't know what happened. Blown coverage, something. But who had Luke Shoemaker? And Cooper Rush, I think, was trying to be too perfect because the ball was flooding around his hands. Touchdown, Shoemaker. Dallas is up at this point. And I'm like, oh, shit. We might pull this bitch off. Then more wonky shit happens. Defense I was playing good all game decides, okay, we just say, fuck it. Even though Michael Parsons got another sack. First down, first down, first down. Jaden Daniels scores. Washington's down 7. Then the real crazy shit started to fucking happen. Kevon Turpin mishandles pretty much the ball goes between his legs. He grabs it one hand, does his little pause, as I think a lot of fucking kick returners are starting to gonna do with the new kickoff. He goes to the right, hits a Madden spin move, and broke out the gate. 97 yards touchdown. Think the game is over? Nope. Washington drives down. And I don't know. This is why I say coaching helps. I don't know why more coaches don't do this. As soon as Washington gets in field goal range, Dan Quinn said, fuck it. We're kicking this field goal now. It's like a minute 44. Now Washington is down basically 7 at this point. Okay, cool. Dallas pretty much does a 3 and out. Punts. It is literally... No, well, let me back up. Back up. Because I'm so flustered and so excited. I fucked up the sequence. So, at this point, I'm right. I'm trying to backtrack. At this point, nullified Kevon Turpin. Nullified that. Shoemaker's touchdown. Jaden comes down. Field goal. 3 and out by Dallas. Right? And Jaden Daniels. No, I am right. Jaden Daniels. Terry McLaurin. With about 14 fucking seconds left. No, 21 seconds. I did have the sequence correct, by the way. Jordan Lewis. I had a flashback. Orlando Scandrets in Detroit, where somehow he decides to look in the backfield and Matthew Stafford flicks the ball over his head. I cannot remember the receiver. I want to say it was Megatron, but I know, and proceeds to run and get to the Dallas Cowboys 2-yard line. Well, this time it was Jordan Lewis looking in the backfield instead of looking at where the fucking receiver is also. Jaden Daniels throws a perfect pass. Perfect. Dropped in the bucket. No one's really around him. You know why? Because number 30, one of our DBs that really does not fucking play, Joanna Thomas. I had to look his name up. Takes a bad angle. 87 yards later. Damn. Touchdown. Everybody going nuts in Washington. But you still got to kick the extra fucking point. Bad snap. Kicker kicks. Extra point missed. Damn. Wind goes and sails. Here comes onside kick, which I think has only worked twice all year for any team. And I think Dallas was one of the teams that got it right. The same dude, Brooks, jumps it. Said, fuck it, I'm out. And house that bitch. 43 yards. Now, I can't blame him for scoring because you may not get that chance ever again. But next time, dude, just fall. Just fall. Because then it's a kneel down, game over. But he scored. Dallas is up 34-26. Now, scary thing happened. Austin Eckler gets the ball off a kickoff. He's trying to make a play. I don't know who destroyed him, but Austin Eckler got knocked out cold. Sleep. To the point that it was scary because he was not moving. Legal hit too. After they went to commercial break, Austin sat up, then stood up, and was helped off the field. He's not playing next week, Washington. He's concussed. But then again, he might not, because boxers have said when you get knocked out cold, it's really not a concussion. Your brain just says is on shutdown mode. He might play, but more than likely, I don't think he's playing. Now, Jaden Daniels does what he does, scrambling, going to the right, throws up a Hail Mary. What you do, you knock it down. Now, Luke McCaffrey did something smart. He tried to hit the ball back, but it ain't worked this time. You know why? Because it got picked off. Game, set, match. Dallas wins 34-26. Now, throughout this whole description that I just gave, there's a whole lot of bullshit that happened in between. That's why I said the last part was kind of, I got the cadence right. But you see why I was kind of thinking, it was getting fumbled up a little bit. This was a wonky ass game. May I give applaud and a salute to Cooper Rush. After your first game was some trash, your second game was you played a very efficient game. Cooper Rush for the Dallas Cowboys was 24-32, 247 yards, completion at average completion of 7.7, 2 touchdowns, no picks, rating 117.6. He was sacked one time for 6 yards. Now, the one time he was sacked, it was smart because it was a bootleg to try for Dallas to try to end the game. No, it wasn't open. He just went down. Now, I will openly admit, if that's Dak Prescott, I think Dak is trying to throw that bitch away. But Cooper went down, so Washington had to use a timeout. As I mentioned, Rico Dowdell, Dallas running back, 19 carries, 86 yards. He did have a costly fumble. No one else really touched the ball. Zeke Elliott, 3 carries for 6. CeeDee Lamb, I already said that, 1 for 1. Cooper Rush ran 4 times for a yard. And Trey Lance, who got two snaps, minus 3 yards. Because I don't know what Mike. See, if you're going to use Trey Lance, give him a run pass option. Everybody knew it was going to be a run. And again, Shoemaker's too far wide to even make the block on Dorian Armstrong again. As for the Dallas receiving corps, I've already mentioned CeeDee Lamb, 10 catches, 67 yards. Luke Shoemaker, 3 catches, 55 yards. Touchdown. Jalen Brooks, 1 catch, 41 yards. That's the one I was describing before the half. Jalen Tolbert, 2 catch, 22 yards, and a crucial drop. This is why I say it's a comedy of errors. The first quarter, when Aubrey got his field goal blocked, it was directly after Jalen Tolbert had a first down in his hands and he dropped it. Hunter Lemke, 1 catch, 10 yards. Rico Dowdell caught 3 passes for 12. Cavante Turner 1 for 8. But I say Cavante needs to get the ball more. Can we get some slants and some in and outs for him? Pause. We had a Jonathan Mingo sighting. 1 catch for 8 yards. The Dallas defense did its job, except for that 2 drives. It really did its job. You already described that prayer to Terry McLaurin. And the quick drive that Jaden did. But let me do this here. Michael Parsons had 8 tackles, 2 sacks. 2 tackles for loss. Welcome back, Michael. As I mentioned, DaRon Bland, it just seems like the Dallas defense plays better when DaRon's in the game. And that's no slight to Trayvon Diggs, but it is also a slight to Trayvon Diggs. For some reason, he's the man. Trayvon gets the money. DaRon Bland has the fear because of what he did last year. He's sound in coverage. That's another dude Jerry's got to pay. Well, he might have to pay him because DeMarcus Lawrence, you might have played your last. This might be your last season in Dallas, bro. My boy, DeMarvion Overshawn, only had 3 tackles. He did not flash at all. But that's cool. You're not going to have all the games. Overall, the Dallas defense played well. You know how I know they played well? Let me give you Jaden Daniels' stats. 25 for 38, which is never good. I've noticed when he throws the ball more than 30 times, Washington tends to be in trouble. Don't believe me, Washington fans? Go back to your losses. Just go back to your losses. 30 or more, you in trouble. 25 for 38, 275 yards. The average completion per completion was 7.2. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 4 times for 8 yards. Rating 82.7. Here's the key. Out of that 275, 87 of it came from that one play from Terry McLaurin. Other than that, Dallas held him in check. Now, Washington, you did rush for 145 yards. Again, hidden yardage, though. Because Jaden was the leading rusher, 7 carries for 74 yards. The longest was a 23-yard scramble. Jeremy McNichols, 3 for 22. Austin Eckler, 9 for 22. And once again, knocked out cold. De'Ami Brown, 1 for 14. That was a reverse. Brian Robinson Jr., who got hurt, 5 carries, 13 yards. Once again, you take out Jaden Daniels running. You are running for what? Maybe 80 yards? So that's half, basically half. So I will give you 80, 75 to 80 yards. But once again, Washington, Cliff Kingsbury has been figured out. Now, either you got to expand the playbook and trust Jaden more, or this is going to happen for the rest of the year. Because one thing I know is Dallas did today, and what Pittsburgh did, anytime he tries that read option, someone's hitting him. Regardless if it goes to the running back or not, someone's touching him up. Also, Dallas defense, whoever is supposed to set the edge, set the damn edge. Jude your job. Simple. Do it. Receiving. Noah Brown, 6 catches for 71 yards. Scary Terry, 5 for 102. Zach Ertz, 6 catches, 38 yards, touchdown. De'Ami Brown, 2 catches, 22 yards. Bates, 1 catch, 13 yards, and a crucial fumble. Brian Robinson Jr., 1 catch, 11 yards, out the game. And I'm not going to get everybody else because everybody just had ones. The Dallas defense pretty much went crazy trying to get the ball. I don't know, like I said, if it was them seeing Dan Quinn and they remember who the fuck they were or what. But overall, the wonkiness of this game has me a bit perplexed. Because I think Washington, you all are going to make the playoffs. But let's be real. Who are you? Seriously, who are you? Dallas sucks. You all should have blown Dallas out. And the other part of this caveat that I tell Washington fans all the time, who you play in your schedule is who you play in your schedule. You had, since you were a third place team, a bottom feeding team last year. You were last in the division. You get a last place schedule. Remember that this is how the NFL keeps the balance in the league. Eventually, a team that sucks will get good, hopefully within 3 years. That's how the balance. That's what makes New England and San Francisco. Well, San Francisco beat up on the NFC West a long time ago. The division sucked. The NFC East, as you know, Washington fans way back in the day, it was a war. It still is technically a war. But you see where I'm going. You had a last place schedule. Who are you now? Who are you? Are you a running team? Are you a passing team? Are you a team that thrives off turnovers? Because also when you lose turnover battle, you end up losing the game. Have you noticed that too? Dallas is worse in turnovers. You know that, right? They're the worst. And now you have lost 3 in a row. Trey. Steelers, good game, but you lost. Eagles, you should have got blown out by 14, but that late touchdown made it score a little bit better. And Dallas technically handled you, except for miracle plays. Be honest with yourself. Dallas should have been up by at least a touchdown during halftime, the way the game was played. But you all are not going to admit that part because, again, you're a toxic fan base. You're not going to see what I'm telling you. Dallas should have been headed at least a touchdown to 14 points in the first half. And to let me be clear, and this is weird, you all have the better team. Eye test was showing me Dallas is on par, if not got more talent still. They're not saying a damn lot. How? Well, I ain't gonna say more talent. Let me correct myself. That's the fan in me. That's the fan in me. But the talent is even. If Lovey's not making a play for y'all, I mean, let's be real. He's the Michael Parsons of Washington. Dan Quinn has a knack of finding a dude that he can move everywhere. Lovey that dude for y'all. everybody else on defense? I mean, Bobby Wagner, Dorian Armstrong. But where was Dorian at? This is why my Cowboys let him go. Because we had a pass rusher that unfortunately tore his ACL during training camp, Sam Williams. Overall, who are you? Now the questions start to mount. Now you should get a win next week against the Titans. You should. But it's the NFL. Nothing's guaranteed. Zero. As of my Cowboys, we got the New York Giants. I don't know how to call that game, to be perfectly honest. If the defense plays the way it is today, Dallas should win. Should. But I will admit the New York Giants are due for a victory against Dallas. Hell, they haven't beaten my Cowboys in going on 4 years. If we win this game, that's 5 years. See where I'm going? You know, I'm gonna say, let me look at my Cowboys schedule. I want to say the gauntlet for Dallas is over. Yep, we got the Giants, then that's the mini bye. Then we got the Bengals on Sunday night. That should be interesting. The Panthers, the Bucks, the Eagles again, and y'all at home this time. Damn, now that I'm looking at this schedule, shit. I didn't want us to make a run. That Bengals game, let's say we beat the Giants. That Bengals game is going to determine if Dallas is making a run or not. Shit. I don't want this thing to be, Jerry. We had injuries. I know it's coming. God dang it, I know it's coming. We had injuries and da. There goes that hope. But no. Let me get that out of here. The Dallas fans see this shit. We see this shit. We see it. Nah. We good. But as for you Commanders fans, you have to ask yourself, who are we? I'm going to say it again. Who are you? Because your next games, let me see. You got the Titans. You got the Saints. So I would say those 2 games you should win. You got the Eagles again. This time I want to say is at your home. Yep, it's at your home. You're still going to lose that. The Falcons, which could be a tricky one, and then you got Dallas at Dallas. Dallas could play spoiler for you all. So in essence, 10-7. Just say, because I'll give you beating the Titans, you beating the Saints, you're not beating the Eagles. The Falcons and my Cowboys, those are your 2 tricky ones. Because Dallas could play spoiler. The Falcons could be fighting for their own playoff lives. Tricky. And Kirk Cousins is coming home. You don't think he wants revenge on y'all for not giving him his money where it looks like he deserved his money? He's been to the playoffs. Granted, he ain't had much success, but you all haven't. See where I'm going? Overall, tricky. But it don't matter right now because my Cowboys beat y'all. I'm smiling. If you see in my face, I'm smiling. If you listen to my voice, you can see the smile though through your headphones or whatever you listen to. Overall, I can sleep good tonight. I can really sleep good. Dallas season may suck, but just know what you call it. It was FedEx Field. Now it was Northwest Stadium. Now it's still AT&T East. It is what it is. So with that said, I'm out. About to sit back and make some tea. I could go in the group text and say what I want to say, but I'm not. If you listen to it, you know what I'm talking about. I gotta give a shout out to Chris Rowan again. You know, founder of Unique Hoops Basketball Academy in Winchester. Love you, boy. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the guys in the chat, love y'all too. But right now, because of your boy, I'm putting everybody on blast right now. Because in the group chat, before I get out of here, people, I said I would not talk football in the group chat. And damn it, I meant it. Too much paying attention to Dallas and what Dallas does and when Dallas loses, whatever. But for one day, regardless of how you feel and whatever, I'm going to strut. I should wear the Dallas Cowboy jacket, but I'm not. But it is what it is. Today was a good day. I should play Ice Cube song, but I'm not. Anyway, I'd like to thank my sponsor once again, Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cupcakes and cake pops in the DMV area. Small based business out of Southern Maryland. You can see their products at Row_Sweets_LLC on Facebook and Instagram, and Row is spelled RO. Also, you can contact them at rowsweetsllc@gmail.com. They do deliver. And to be honest, you're going to need them cupcakes for Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I'll say that in a second. Once again, thank you for Verside.fm for getting this face and this voice on platforms such as Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. You want to do this podcast thing, check them out. Now, as for Thanksgiving, I may not be doing a podcast after Thanksgiving. If I do, it's going to be the day after because, I'm going to be with my family, my daughters, my granddaughters, people I love. So I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Eat as much turkey as you want. Get that stuffing, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie if you eat that, I guess. Hopefully your mac and cheese is delicious and creamy. Pause. You know what I mean? Hey man, let Big Papa have the biggest plate. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let Pop Pop have his plate. You damn ingrates. And once again, please like, share, and subscribe to Hey Yo with D Shelton on Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. And once again, as I always tell y'all, may Father and the ancestors take care of you your loved ones, or anybody else you care about. I will see y'all when I see y'all after Thanksgiving. Peace.